welcome to the Liberty Mike podcast, broadcasting from an undisclosed location in the heart of Dixie. I am Michael, and I am here with Liberty Larry.
How's it going?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Pretty good.
Well, we didn't get anything out last week.
We're back again.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. That's mostly my fault.
A lot going on.
Yeah, man, I just ran out of time.
Yep.
I was like getting ready for this trip, and I had other things going on too, and I just ran out of time.
Yeah.
And I actually took my stuff with me to
record on the road.
Yeah, to Idaho, but that didn't happen either. And that was mostly because neither of us felt like, not you and me, but neither me or Dr. Miller felt like doing a podcast.
Yeah.
And we were busy there too, so it's not like we had a lot of time either.
Yeah.
So it just didn't happen. I have now, however, seen both the Grand Tetons and been to Yellowstone, which was awesome.
I'd like to do Yellowstone. I don't know. That just seems like that'd be a cool trip.
Dude, it is beautiful out there.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful out there. Like really incredible landscape.
Yeah.
And there are animals too.
Yeah.
And we didn't really see any the first day, but we did the second. No bears.
I was going to
no
say,
wolves.
You didn't pet any, right?
No, I didn't pet any. No, she's like, I was about 10 feet away from a bison though.
Yeah.
And she was like dragging me on while I was trying to take pictures. Yeah. She was like, no, they're mean. Yeah. I was like, no, but he's like laying down and facing the other direction. He's just chilling. I'm good. I can take a couple of pictures before we move on. Right. So I got some very good pictures of a bison.
Nice.
And some not as good pictures of moose. And I didn't take any pictures of the elk we saw.
No moose and squirrel?
No moose and squirrel. I saw squirrels.
You didn't take any pictures,
I didn't take any pictures of squirrels. I did take a picture of a magpie because I'd never seen a magpie before. Yeah. And there were tons of them in her neighborhood. And so I took pictures because I was just like getting the lay of the land. I took pictures so that I could show her and say, what is this? Right. There's this thing that it looks like a giant crow with a white chest and a really long tail. What the hell is this?
And they're everywhere.
And there's tons of them. And it turns out it's a magpie, and they are a corvid just like crows and ravens and stuff. I saw ravens too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's not the first time I've seen ravens, so I wasn't quite so overwhelmed with that because ravens are big. Those are big, big birds.
Oh, really?
But I'd seen a bunch of them when I was out in Arizona years before.
I was gonna say I don't know that I've ever seen a raven like up close and like in the real.
Yeah, like they're the size of osprey.
Oh, okay.
To give you some.
Yeah.
They have osprey out there too. They're like a little like what is white down here is kind of a grayish color, like a light gray color up there. It looked like.
Yeah.
I've been real close to osprey here. I wasn't real close to osprey there, but they looked a little darker. They didn't look as white.
Okay.
On the chest and so forth.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a neat trip, and I recommend to everybody, if you go out there, you go to the Tetons, take the tram. Take the tram to the top. That was the highlight for both of us on the trip. It was really impressive. Like, it was cool going up this very steep cliff face. The tram goes like 24 miles an hour, so be prepared for that. It goes a lot faster than you think it would.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing up at the top. You can see like the Snake River Valley out in front of you, and the mountains all around, and it was really cool.
That's cool.
So, good trip all in all.
Awesome.
But we didn't record a podcast.
But no podcast was involved.
No. And so then I was like, man, now I'm frustrated at myself for lugging around the recorder. Right. It's like I could have saved some room on my baggage and had room for another bottle of mezcal or something.
Like you needed it.
It might have helped.
Yeah.
It might have helped. I don't know. You never know.
This mezcal is pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know that I could have fit this bottle though.
Yeah.
It's not the right shape for the bottle sleeves I have.
Ah, gotcha.
Doesn't matter now. This one's gone.
It's gone. Yeah, we killed it.
Oh well. It's at the Total Wine, so easy to replace this one.
That's good.
there were some interesting discussions. And I guess we may as well just do this up top because it's going around. And it's what Mom said we should talk about anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Like we did talk about the autism a little bit. Now, she was just kind of challenging me. The question was, what do you think is causing the rise in autism cases? And I said, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that it's clear that the number of cases can't be explained through an expansion of definitions, which this is where we got sidetracked because she disagreed that any kind of change in the definitions has led to more diagnoses.
Well, it like almost has to.
Well, I mean, that's what I thought too, but she is a psychiatrist. Like
Okay.
she's the professional here.
No, that's fair.
And I understand that the changes in definitions are just trying to encapsulate everything without including stuff that isn't part of the autism spectrum disorder. And I suppose that I think it was in the 90s they switched from autism to the autism spectrum disorder. And so there are some things that had been identified as different disorders that were now under the umbrella of the autism spectrum disorder.
Yeah.
But I'm sure, like, knowing that, people that are counting historical cases include those things that used to be diagnosed separately as cases of autism spectrum disorder now.
Yeah.
Right? Like I said, I mean, I think that when you're, like, including additional signs and so forth, but you're probably excluding signs too. I don't know how, like, I couldn't tell you exactly how the definition has changed over time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could even be the other way potentially, although I don't think so. But it could be the other way potentially, and that as they redefine autism, they're actually kind of narrowing down the focus.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's a possibility too. So, but I know that some additional, I guess you'd say, symptoms have been added to try and capture everything that should fall under the autism spectrum disorder. So, yeah, I agree. I think that it would result in additional diagnoses, but she disagrees, and like I said, she's a professional.
Yeah,
So
she'd know better than me. I'll
Yeah.
promise you that.
yeah. I mean, I looked it up afterwards, and, like, it's a debate.
Yeah, so it's not settled.
Yeah, it's a debate, but there are. I mean, I guess the majority is on the side that it doesn't increase the number of diagnoses.
Okay.
So, but 97% of scientists agree that humans are causing climate change, and so.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not relevant to the point that I was making.
Yeah.
At any rate. So you have increased recognition, like awareness of autism, and so it's being diagnosed more frequently because people are looking for it. Even if the definitions, the changes in definition haven't resulted in an increasing number of diagnoses, then and actually, even if they have it, it actually makes my point weaker. But the point I was trying to get to is, like, even given these things that are potentially increase the number of diagnoses of autism, the rate at which the number of cases has grown can't be explained through that.
Yeah.
And
it's
so
just such a massive increase.
Yeah, so there must be some kind of environmental factor that's causing it, because it's too quick for some kind of genetic drift. So there has to be something that either we are being exposed to that is changing our sexual reproductive cells, or there's something that we're being exposed to that's affecting the fetus in utero, or the infant or newborn is being exposed to something. Like, kind of one of these things has to be the case.
Yeah.
Like, there must be some kind of environmental factor. That's all I was trying to get to. And then I get back and apparently it's Tylenol.
Yeah, that's what the internet told me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't looked into it at all, so
I haven't looked into it deeply. I know that this is like the mRNA vaccines, in that the claim that this is the cause, it cannot possibly be known at this point.
Well, yeah.
So
and I'm hoping I haven't listened to the announcement or any of that. I'm hoping some of that is explained in the announcement, but it's the Trump administration. I don't actually know. I mean,
yeah,
because the internet is acting like they came out and just proclaimed that this is the thing, and I need to go and look at the clips and see. Like, and I haven't
heard either. So what Mom said that we need to talk about is the difference between correlation and causation.
Yeah.
And so if I'm wrong about how this has been presented, then I apologize, because I don't know either.
Yeah.
I haven't had time to look at this, but. My guess is that they have released information, like data, that shows a correlative link between women taking Tylenol during pregnancy and having autistic children.
Yeah.
This is no kind of proof. It's not even evidence, actually.
Yeah.
All it is a statistical link.
Yeah.
And this is kind of the starting point, because nobody's ever researched. So, like, what you do in a lot of cases like this, where you're trying to figure something out, is that you just look at reams and reams of data. Like, I used to do this in anthropology stuff.
Yeah.
So you're looking at pages and pages and pages and pages of numbers.
Yeah.
And you're looking for anomalies.
Yeah.
You're looking for a set of numbers that kind of stands out against the background in some way.
Yeah.
And then you circle that, or at least that's what I used to do.
What you
so
did,
then,
yeah.
then you circle that, and that's just something to look at in the future.
Yeah.
All right. So that you can dive deeper into that and see if there is actually like an actual causative link between these two things, or if it's just an interesting correlation.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, we'll see in the future. Like, this is, as I understand it, this is just a starting point. Like, okay, we're looking at all these data. We're trying to find things that tend to move together with autism.
Yeah.
Or with a diagnosis of autism in the children.
Yeah.
All right. So maybe this is one of them. There's a statistically higher likelihood, if you took Tylenol during pregnancy, that your child would be autistic. That doesn't mean that Tylenol causes autism.
Yeah.
It just means that this is a place where you need to research in the future. This is one of the things that you concentrate.
Starting points.
Yeah, exactly. So now you try and design an experiment to limit the number of other factors that are involved, and see if you continue to see that kind of trend.
Yeah.
If you still see a statistical correlation, then it might suggest some kind of causative effect. But for now, it's just a correlation.
Yeah.
It just means that these two things kind of move together. They could move together because of a third factor.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just tell you, like, I appreciate the fact that they're at least starting to look into this with some seriousness. Mm-hmm. I know the other thing that Trump talked about was spreading the vaccines out, and instead of doing like all of them at like one time, like spreading it out, which I've been saying that for a while anyway. I mean, I'm no scientist, I don't know, but it just seems like it's a bad idea to do all of this at one time.
Yeah, it is a real assault on your immune system as a youngster.
Yeah.
And that would kind of tend to make sense, but who knows? Oh, dang. Sorry if anybody heard that on the other end. I just bumped the mic. I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
It was an accident. I was trying to bump something else. So I don't know. We'll see how this plays out. But yeah, same thing for me. I appreciate that they're like taking a serious look, and I don't think that they're ruling anything out from the beginning, which is a nice start.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is unfortunate that everything's political.
Yeah, and it's just crazy to me because particularly with this, so you've got Trump, a Republican, elected to the White House, and he's put RFK, a Democrat, in charge of this, And everybody's up in all the liberals are up in arms about it. It's like, man, this is supposed to. I mean, if you're gonna be political about it, which I don't want to be political about it, but if you're gonna be, this is like your guy. Like,
No. The problem is that they're both crazy, don't you know?
Yeah, exactly.
They're both crackpots.
Apparently, I mean, that's definitely the talking point. It's just frustrating. Like we can't come together on anything in this country.
Yeah, yeah, I know. There's no. So I was talking to somebody recently, and they were talking about Trump, and we may have discussed this in this way on the last podcast, but I don't remember. It's just this thought that's been in my head for a little bit anyway. Yeah. But they were like, the person just maintained that Trump is so corrupt, and how terrible this administration is because Trump is so corrupt.
Well, he's got 34 felonies.
Right.
I've seen that one thrown
all about
around.
Campaign finance, but he's not campaigning anymore.
Yeah. It just irritates me when I hear that. It's like, man,
Yeah. Well, so I was saying, yeah, but he's no more corrupt than any of the rest of them. Yeah. And this person disagreed.
Yeah.
Look at the corruption here. I just said, no. The difference between him and the rest of them is that he doesn't know enough about what he's supposed to cover up. He doesn't know enough about what the rules are about his position to couch the things that he's doing in some kind of, constitutional loophole or whatever. Yeah. He just does it out front.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know that that's something that you're supposed to hide or that that's something that you're not supposed to do. He's doing the same things as the rest of them. He's just not explaining it in the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's because he doesn't understand what the rules are, which is a problem in and of itself.
Which is a problem. I'm not trying to say that's the right direction to go.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's no more corrupt. It's just more exposed.
Exactly.
It's the same thing that I've said about the difference between corruption in the United States government and corruption in other governments around the world. Yeah. The corruption in other governments around the world, say Ukraine or Russia, yeah, it's just naked compared to the corruption within the U.S. government. The corruption in the U.S. government is systemic. Like, they've made the corruption a part of the system. Yeah. And they haven't succeeded in doing that yet in some of these other governments. So yeah, it just appears as naked corruption. But okay. For example, like the tariffs thing. Yeah. Tariffs thing's been driving me crazy because they keep going on about how much extra revenue they're generating for the U.S. government in these tariffs. Yeah. Well, don't I get a refund?
Apparently not.
Shouldn't I get a refund? We'll never get a refund.
Well, no.
What we might get is not long before midterms next year, we might get a check sent out to us that's called a tax rebate or whatever.
Yeah, they will. But, it will be money sent out with some kind of fancy name.
Yeah, but it is not a refund; it's a bribe.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's just as corrupt as a real bribe, except this is part of the system, so it doesn't appear to be a bribe. Yeah, but it's still a bribe.
Absolutely. Yep.
So I hope that's a good example of what I mean. Yeah. And they all do it.
Yeah, exactly.
They all do it. The difference is that he just doesn't understand the rules well enough to know what how he's supposed to talk about these things and what exactly he's supposed to cover up.
Yeah, yeah. It's just out there.
I guess the other thing that we should mention, as long as we're on this pathway anyway, is we forgot.
All that talk about never forget and this, that, and the other. We did a podcast on 9/11 and didn't even mention it. Didn't even come up.
No. I mean, I think it's about time that we stop talking about this, honestly. Yeah. We were saving up for next year, which is the 25th anniversary.
Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah.
This was only 24. It's not an important number.
Nobody cares about that, right?
I mean, what are you going to talk about really anyway? From our perspective as libertarians, it's the anniversary of the excuse for our government becoming more centralized, more authoritarian, deeper in debt, and constantly at war.
Yeah. Well, and the thing I'd like to point out with that in particular is all of that was done by the Republicans.
Yes.
Who are in power right now. Yes. By the way, trying to do the exact same thing. except turn it inward. Like, so the Bush administration was the war on terror, fight them over there so we don't have to fight them over here. And now it's fight them over here. Fight us over here.
Yeah, well, it's not just that. Actually, that leads in really well to something else that I didn't want to talk about that happened, is the bombing of the, quote, narco-terrorists
Yes.
outside of Venezuela.
Yeah.
The blowing up of the boats.
Yeah, I was going to say what appears to be fishing boats.
They were, well, at least one of them had 4 motors on it. I mean, that's a racing boat, if nothing else. I mean, there's some interesting like corporate aspects to this, but I'll get back to that because I haven't figured out exactly like how it relates yet. But let's start at least with like what actually happened.
Okay.
The first one, so Trump puts out a truth.
He's truthing again.
Yeah, of the U.S. military bombing a boat that they claim is running drugs out of Venezuela, and killed 11 people on this small speedboat. Now, I'm looking at you, like you can see the people, you can see the size of this thing. It's not much bigger than my dad's old bass boat.
Yeah,
like it's not a big thing. Yeah. They do have 4 motors on it. Like they want it to move fast, obviously.
Okay. Yeah.
But the other thing that got me about this is like they're running drugs and they have 11 people on this boat.
That's odd.
Doesn't it seem like it seems to me that if you're running drugs, that you want as few people on the boat as possible because you want that weight to be drugs.
Yeah, as much drugs as possible.
And so I don't understand it. I think it's actually less likely that boat was drug trafficking and more likely that they were people trafficking.
Yeah, well.
And if they were people trafficking, then almost certainly innocent people were killed.
Yeah. Wouldn't they be tracking more than 11 people, though? Trafficking?
Well, it's a small boat.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty packed with people. Like, you've seen the pictures, right?
Some of them. I haven't. Only of a couple of the boats. I don't know.
And of course, this is... So... We call them narco-terrorists because apparently if you use the word terrorist, you don't have to follow any rules.
Yeah.
Right. But, and I had been saying this to other people, but not, there was a Pentagon anonymous source that told The Intercept, his or her, I don't know. The source's phrase is better than what I had come up with, so I'm going to use their phrase.
All right.
But it says the same thing that I was doing, is that they're criminals, not combatants.
Oh, yeah.
That a military strike on a civilian vessel in international waters cannot be justified under any legal precedent that we have, even if they're doing something illegal.
Yeah. Criminals,
not combatants.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the real problem. And of course, this won't solve anything anyway. I mean, a lot of this is just about Venezuela.
So I've got a question. And this just kind of occurred to me. So they knew where this boat was at and they were tracking it. Cause I mean, the pictures I've seen were like satellite pictures and whatever. Mm. They couldn't just,
there was like a more to the side picture. It's overhead, but more to the side. So it's probably, I'm leaning back from the mic. Yeah. I hope that came through. Yeah. It's probably an aircraft that they had.
Why don't they just follow it to where it's going? And then catch
both sides.
And catch all the people involved. And actually catch them, not like bomb them.
Yeah.
Like it just seems like that would make more sense to me.
It would, wouldn't it? I think that it would make more sense, like, even if you didn't do that, if you just captured them there instead of bombing them.
Well, yeah,
like, exactly. It's a small boat.
Yeah, and we've got a Coast Guard and whatnot.
And a Navy.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking of it's not that big of a boat. I feel like the Coast Guard could probably handle it. Like, I don't know. Seems
like overkill?
It does.
Seems like overkill. I agree.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of the point.
Yeah.
Trump, okay, so he's such a strange character. Trump may be opposed to war, but he clearly has no opposition to military action.
Yeah, this is true.
In fact, he seems to really like military action.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the Iran thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this big military action. We're not gonna. It's not gonna be a war.
It's not war. Yeah.
To me, I was looking at this and I thought, okay, now what they're doing is they're trying to put together 2 failed wars.
Yeah.
Right? Like I was looking at narco-terrorists. So we're combining the drug war with the terror war, both of which have failed. So now we're gonna have one big failure instead of 2
Right.
failures. I don't know. Makes me think of the Ron Swanson thing about half-assing 2 things. And anyway,
Whole-ass one thing.
yeah, maybe this is what they're trying to do. Instead of half-assing 2 things, we're going to whole-ass one thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that we're just going to fail bigger.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Because the problem is not, like, drugs sell themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not getting rid. We can't keep drugs out of prisons. So good luck keeping them off the streets.
Yeah. Or out of the country.
Or out of the in this case out of the country. Yeah. Like it's just it's a loser, man.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like if you want to eliminate, or you'll never eliminate it because there are always people that will go too far. It's just one of those things. But the best thing you can do to win, I guess, for lack of a better term, the drug war is to legalize the drug, let the free market handle it. And I mean, when I say legalize the drug, I mean all drugs.
Yeah.
Legalize all drugs, let the free market handle it, let the drugs kill people instead of the government.
The violence, and the violence that comes along with the drugs in the first place. Because so much of the violence is
about it being a black market.
Well, yeah, is the distribution through the black market.
Yeah.
We've been through this with alcohol. Like we know what's going on here. Just legalize it and regulate. As much as I hate to use the R word, like regulate it.
And hell, if you want to, I'm opposed to it, obviously, but tax it.
Yeah, I mean, and use that tax money for
treatment centers
and stuff like that, because like that would actually go towards fixing the problem. Like the way we're trying to fight this is just never going to work.
And you can't ignore the forbidden fruit aspect of it too.
Yeah,
like the fact that it's really not that hard to get, but making it a black market limits the supply, limits the availability. It creates this kind of forbidden fruit effect where because you can't get it easily, you want it more.
Yeah. And there's people that enjoy just that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Going to make the buy, or...
I mean, the other thing that you eliminate is that if you let the free market handle it, the drug producers have an incentive not to kill their customers.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and the consumers will know what they're getting. It'll all be on the package.
Yeah.
Like
the difference between buying weed on the street and buying weed at a dispensary.
Exactly. I've done both. It's quite it's a different experience, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but like the potency of what you're buying in the dispensary, it's all labeled.
Well, the guy on the street tells me.
You can't trust that guy though. Unless you buy from him regularly. The only ones that you can trust are the ones that you buy from all the time because they don't, they want you to come back.
Yeah, exactly.
But if it's just like some guy that you met outside the bar or standing on the corner or whatever, like he doesn't have any particular incentive to make you come back.
Best shit you've ever had.
Yeah.
That's what they all say.
Exactly. It's like when I was in the UK, well, not just in the UK, but mostly in the UK. So I went to I liked the pub life.
Yeah.
It's an interesting aspect of Europe generally, and particularly the UK, I think. But I would go in everywhere and I'd say, like, okay, so obviously I'm American. Actually, people from the South, and I assume that it's just people from the South because we have something of that drawl. And Americans don't travel as much as Australians. Okay. So a lot of times you're misidentified as an Australian. Like my brother and I found this in Chile, except for the people for whom English was their primary language, even if they were UK or South Africa or whatever. Yeah. They could mostly identify us as Americans.
Yeah.
But the people that English wasn't their first language often thought we were Australians.
Interesting.
Yeah. Of course, he'd just gotten back from Europe, and two of my best friends in college were Australian, so we also use all these Australian idioms. Anyway, so in the UK, I'd go into the pubs, and I would say, okay, so I'm American. I'm a bourbon drinker, primarily. This is what I like. Which was like, I like wild turkey for something that you can just kind of get everywhere.
Yeah.
What would you recommend to me?
Yeah.
And it was invariably the most expensive whiskey in the bar.
Of course.
So I didn't care what it was that I liked.
Exactly.
It was just whatever, I'll sell you the most expensive whiskey. I should have just walked in and say, what's the most expensive whiskey you have?
Yeah.
It would have gotten me to the same place. The good news was that they don't tax booze in the same way there that they do here, so it wasn't expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, same idea. Right?
Absolutely.
Like you're a foreigner, you're not coming back here probably.
Yep.
I'm perfectly content to lie to you and rip you off.
Exactly.
Yeah. Whereas if it's handled through the free market, I mean, I guess that is too. So maybe that's a bad example, but it's certainly, they weren't going to kill me with what they were selling me.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Well, and I mean, while there's an incentive for the dispensaries and stuff to lie on the package, all they have to do is get caught doing that once, and then nobody's gonna use them anymore.
Yeah, and there's enough competition in the states where it's legal that can be the end of your business.
Exactly. You have all the reason to just be legit about what you put on your package, So definitely legalization is where we should be heading. Yeah.
I mean, the real concern in this case is that it should be a law enforcement action, not a military action. Yeah. And it is dangerous to continue to allow the government to militarize law enforcement.
Yeah.
And it feeds into the already existing penchant for the U.S. government over the last few decades for open assassination.
Yeah.
Which I think is just a dangerous policy generally. But like the open assassination of civilians and more, but this is just not a stable way of interacting. It's not a stable foreign policy, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Or domestic policy for that matter. I mean, we had Obama that signed off on the drone bombing assassination of an American citizen overseas in Anwar al-Awlaki, and then his 16-year-old son two weeks later or whatever. Yeah. That's pretty bad. There's been open talk. Now I'm looking at Lindsey Graham really here, but he's not the only one about assassinating Vladimir Putin, assassinating Khomeini in Iran.
Yeah.
The Ayatollah. Trump in his first term assassinated Qasem Soleimani. Now he was at least a military guy, but he was a military guy for a nation that we aren't at war with.
Yeah. Well, and just the whole idea of assassinating people anyway. I mean, you can assassinate a person, but you can't assassinate their idea.
Yeah, I think oftentimes you make the problem worse.
Exactly. And I think specifically speaking about Putin, like the last thing we want to do is assassinate like the one level-headed guy that's running that country. Like
exactly.
I mean, there's
a lot of people on the other side of him that think
are
that he
way
is
worse,
completely underreacting to the provocations of the United States.
Exactly.
And if we kill him off, there's a strong likelihood that one of those people that think that they were already underreacting will take over and will react to then the assassination of their president.
Exactly. Like it's just not a safe road to go down, man.
It's a bad policy.
Yeah.
It's a bad policy. And it's really ineffective on the drug war because your problem is an economic problem.
Yeah.
Not a military problem anyway. It's not even really a criminal problem. It's an economic problem.
Yeah.
The problem is that you're trying to eliminate a product that people want. Like they're not forcing drugs on the United States.
Yeah.
People want them.
Exactly.
It is free exchange.
Yeah.
Like these people are entering.
It's not like they're coming in and they're like, well, now we got to convince people to buy them now that they're here. Like there's a very strong market.
Yeah. I mean, the consumption is voluntary. Yeah. And so you can't get rid of the product.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as people want it and will pay for it, you're going to have it.
Absolutely.
I mean, we already proved this in Prohibition. Yeah. All you did was feed the underworld.
Exactly.
We're doing it again. But now we're calling them terrorists.
Yeah, right.
Narco-terrorists. Yeah. And, the argument that they're doing damage, this is the argument that they're making to try and justify this legally, is that they're doing damage. They're a threat to the United States by bringing their product into the United States. The problem is that there's a whole bunch of people in the United States that want their product.
Yeah, yeah. Why don't we address that?
Yeah. And there's no way really to address that except for let the free market handle it.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if you want to get
you eliminate a lot of the problems of the drugs in the United States. You eliminate a lot of the criminal problems of drugs in the United States by making it not criminal anymore.
Exactly.
And I don't just mean the consumption, the possession. Okay, so now those aren't against the law anymore. So you've eliminated a lot of this criminal problem. No, you've eliminated a lot of the violence because of backstreet deals and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you want to destroy the cartels, legalization is the way to do it.
Yeah. Gang territory disputes, that kind of thing. Like
exactly.
that all disappears.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Because now you got to run a legitimate business.
Exactly.
And, if some other business is encroaching on you in a violent way, you have actual law enforcement to turn to.
Exactly.
Because you can't right now. That's a big root of the problem.
Yeah.
Is that the drug dealers, when some other drug dealer moves into their territory, they can't go to the cops and say, "Hey, we are paying the license to sell here."
Yeah.
And this other guy's like standing in front of our shop and selling the same thing, and like we can't have that. You can't go to the cops. You got to go to the guns.
Well, and the same thing as far as being robbed. It's very common for people who are moving a lot of drugs to carry a lot of guns because they're afraid that they're going to be robbed. And they can't go to law enforcement if they are.
Yeah.
You can't go make a police report, they stole all of my coke.
think of the best character in The Wire, Omar.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He made his living
robbing
drug dealers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we've beaten that horse to death probably.
Yeah, but it's an important one, man. It's particularly relevant since we're, bombing boats.
Mm-hmm. Bombing little boats.
Yeah.
No legal justification for this.
Yeah.
It can't be excused.
No.
And this is another one of those things, like if you allow them to say narco-terrorists and use the military against drug dealers, when they turn that inward.
And they will.
That's a real problem.
It'll happen.
Yeah. Okay, so there's one other thing that I wanted to talk about. I don't know how much interest people have. Oh, I did. So I did say that there was some corporate stuff related to this that So, all right, before I get to the other topic that I wanted to address, I just wanted to point out that the U.S. government. So, like I said, a lot of this is about Venezuela. We've tried to overthrow Maduro and Chavez before him. This is we have a real problem with the Venezuelan government.
Oh yeah,
because they're communist, and we won't have that. By the way, just a side note on that. This is why I can never complete anything, because I get sidetracked.
Yeah.
So I find it really interesting that the U.S. government under Donald Trump worked so hard to overthrow the Venezuelan government in his first term. Mm-hmm. When we started this podcast, we were talking about Venezuela constantly.
Yep. Cuckoo Caracas.
Right. So they created a real problem there between the sanctions and the attempt to install a new government and giving away sovereign Venezuelan property to a government that we decided that they should have with Juan Guaido, if you remember him, and so forth. we created a real economic crisis in Venezuela that has driven immigration. So in Trump's first term, he attacks this country economically and politically. It goes through a real crisis, and a lot of people flee that country and move north.
Yeah.
And an immigration crisis is created partially through these actions that he then uses to gain a second term.
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it?
It is interesting.
Anyway, the U.S. government actually just renewed permission for the U.S. company Chevron to continue working with Venezuela. So Chevron collaborates with the Venezuelan government for extraction of their fossil fuels.
Okay.
Now, a rival company. So this is starting to look like we're heading towards the big corporate overlords fighting each other thing.
Yeah.
Exxon, another American company, works in neighboring Guyana to extract resources and is absolutely opposed to the Chevrons collaborating with Venezuela. Yeah. And Guyana and Venezuela have a long-standing dispute, territorial dispute about the area west of the Essequibo River, which is like 2/3 or 60% or something of Guyana's total land area is this area west of the Essequibo River.
Yeah.
And it the territorial dispute, it stems from this colonial territorial dispute between Great Britain, Spain, and the Dutch, United Provinces at the time, I think, actually going way back.
This has been going on for a while.
Yeah. So Venezuela claims the territory west of the Essequibo River as part of Venezuela. That territory Guyana claims also, and it's like a huge portion of their land area. And it also includes some of these resources that Exxon's extracting for Guyana, while Chevron's doing the same thing for Venezuela and probably wants access to those resources west of the Essequibo River also. So, like I said, I haven't figured out how all of this connects just yet, but I really feel like
there's something there,
yeah,
though.
Yeah, exactly. If somebody else, by the way, knows more about this and can point me in the right direction or fill me in or whatever, Michael@thelibertymike.com. I'm actually really, really curious about this thing.
Yeah, there's definitely some kind of connection there. We just hadn't figured it out yet.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it seems like this kind of weird corporate fight that's moved into the U.S. government.
Yeah.
And the U.S. government is supporting Chevron in some ways, but is also attacking the country that we've allowed Chevron to collaborate with.
Yeah.
Maybe siding with Exxon. It could be just like an actual internal dispute within our government that some guys are getting plenty of money from Chevron, some guys are getting plenty of money from Exxon, and there's kind of this internal thing about who's going to win. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just found it to be a strange and interesting, I don't think, coincidence.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. Coincidence?
I think not.
Yeah. So, all right. So last topic. France is going through a governmental crisis. Again. Again.
I was going to say, didn't we just go through this?
Yeah. So right now they're on their 5th prime minister in 2 years. The last prime minister, this was only like a month ago. Bayrou.
Yeah.
I think is how you say his name. Bayrou. I speak a little French, but not a lot.
Yeah.
He attempted to lead a very divided parliament. And very divided, I mean, so there's a left coalition, a left-wing coalition that holds approximately 180 seats. Actually, I should back up a little bit. So we talked about this. It was like a year or so ago. Macron called for new elections.
Yep.
And it did not work out for him.
No, that backfired.
Yeah. So it's the Rassemblement Nacional, it's just like National Rally, party is a right-wing populist party, took about 140 seats.
Yeah.
So you got 180 seats on the one side, 140 seats on the other side. There's a bunch of other parties that have smaller numbers. But anyway, so Bayrou tried to lead this parliament to pass a bunch of cuts to social programs and so forth because France is having an economic problem. And their economic problem is that their debt to GDP ratio is like 114%.
Oh, wow.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Just as a side note, the U.S.'s debt to GDP ratio is 126%.
Ooh, I didn't know that, but that's not good.
And for comparison, the Russia, with their failing economy, their debt to GDP ratio is 19%. So who would you rather be? Anyway, so they tried to pass these cuts to social programs, but that does not go over well in France. So even though they're having an economic problem, nobody's willing to give up their free stuff.
Yeah.
And so since
got to get that 38-hour work week.
Yeah, I thought it was 32, but maybe not.
Oh, it may be. It's in the 30s. I know that.
Yeah.
Because every time I hear it, I'm like, what? Wait, we can't even pull a full 40?
Yeah, so they couldn't get these cuts done. And so about 2 weeks ago, France's credit as a sovereign nation was downgraded. And they got rid of this PM, and they've got a new guy in who's not going to make any attempt to try and solve their economic problems.
Because that's what the people want.
Right.
I mean, it is.
They'd rather their money be worthless and still get social programs and everything to be rationed.
Yeah. I mean, that's where they're heading. Like,
man, so France their whole nation will protest at the drop of a hat too.
Yeah.
They like their protests. They will get out in the street for almost anything.
Yeah.
But they're in a position where the country really can't afford these services that they provide to everybody.
Yeah.
It's a huge, huge percentage of the population in France that works directly for the government.
Really? Yeah.
Huge percentage. Okay. So in the U.S., I think it's bad, and it's like 1%. Well, it's 1% of the total population. It's about, I think it's about 2.2 or something like that percent of the working population.
Yeah.
But in France, it's like 40%.
How is that sustainable?
It's not.
How do you do that? Like, I just can't even imagine the mechanics behind that.
Well, they collect a tremendous amount of
taxes. They have to.
Yeah.
Like, to even keep it afloat as long as they have.
And so they're pushing their wealth out too, because over a certain level, then it's 100% tax rate, I think.
Yeah.
At this point, they may have backed off on that because everybody wealthy in France was just leaving.
Yeah, bet.
But anyway, I don't keep a close enough track of France's politics anymore to
speak much deeper than that.
Yeah, to give you a lot of detail and statistics, but but it is an unsustainable system. They moved further and further into socialism. They collect a tremendous amount of money from their people, but they do provide a lot of services. But it can't be sustained. They're just cycling deeper and deeper into debt. And the reason I bring it up is because, I think that without evidence, I guess, but I think that this is a big part about why Macron is so intent on this war in Ukraine. And getting his own people involved. Yeah, he needs it for a number of things. Yeah. He needs it because he needs a distraction from the disaster that their government is.
Yeah.
He needs it because there's that belief, and this is kind of really what I want to talk about. There's that belief that war improves the economy somehow.
Yeah. Well, it gets people building stuff.
It gets people building stuff, but
it has no practical purpose in the real economy.
Exactly.
But they're building stuff.
Yeah, I guess because the government is always focused on employment rather than
production.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it would be like this idea that the war improves the economy. let me
It's the
try
same
and lay
thing
it
as
out in
digging ditches.
Yeah.
With
Well,
spoons.
I mean, I think that there's actually like a really easy example to show you why it doesn't work.
Okay.
It's because you are literally taking resources out of your economy and destroying them somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Like, I mean, that's, yeah.
You're taking resources out of your economy that could be consumed within your country by your people.
Yeah.
And you're destroying those resources in somebody else's country.
Yeah.
This cannot possibly improve your economy.
No.
There's no way that this improves your economy. Just on that fact alone. Like people talk about how World War II brought the United States out of the Depression. This is the most ridiculous thing. The thing that brought the United States out of the Depression was the end of the war.
Yeah.
When all these people came back to work
And were
production improved in this country. And we stopped sending resources to be destroyed on the other side of the Atlantic.
Exactly.
Or Pacific, actually, on the other side of some ocean.
Right.
But there's this belief that the economy was stabilized and recovered because we went to war. But it's like you're completely ignoring the fact that during the war in this country, there was really severe rationing.
Yeah.
That is not the sign of a healthy economy.
Well, yeah. I mean,
and so this, again, with the war in Ukraine and Russia, to my knowledge, I mean, it's hard to believe any kind of reports on either side. So you just can't know for sure. But at least from the Russian side, they are showing a GDP increase.
Yeah.
It's not what it would probably be outside of a war. It's not as good as it was in 2021 or whatever.
Yeah.
But they are still showing a GDP increase, and it doesn't appear that they're rationing.
Yeah.
Ukraine is.
Well, yeah. They have to be.
It's almost surprising that Ukraine is, honestly, because they've lost so many people.
Yeah.
Your population is reduced by 40% or whatever. It seems like you wouldn't need to ration. But, which makes this thing that Trump tweeted out earlier in the week. Was it this week? I think it was this week. May have been last week.
He truthed it.
Truth it. Told the truth. Odd for Trump, but sometimes lies illustrate the truth.
There you go. Yeah.
Where he was talking about Ukraine maybe being able to secure its original borders, etc.
Yeah.
With the help of NATO, and we'll continue to sell arms to NATO, and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
That they have, that Russia's losing the war, like had all this stuff that's just delusional in it.
Yeah.
And, but I was reading I like this idea, so this is why I bring it up. It is possible that, like Trump certainly has advisors that are telling him exactly that.
Yeah.
Kellogg, General Kellogg. General Kellogg gets out there all the time and says this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, what's his name? I'm so bad at names. Anyway, he says this kind of stuff frequently too. So Trump certainly has advisors that are telling him that Russia is losing this war, and that all we got to do is stay the course and continue to give Ukraine weapons, and they're going to win, and they're going to drive Russia out of all those places in Ukraine that Russia now controls. And so like at first I was like, man, he's buying into this. I can't believe it. At least he's keeping us out of it, sort of.
So far,
yeah. I mean, what he's saying, he in a way, it does seem that he is washing his hands of it in this truth post.
Yeah.
Saying, we'll continue to sell arms to NATO, and they can do with it whatever they want, pretty much.
Yeah.
So we're not playing a part, and he's like, good luck to both nations, like Russia and Ukraine and so on.
Yeah.
But I was reading, what's his name? Larry Wilkerson or something. No, that's not right. I can't think of his name, but it's one of the guys that comes on, it's 21 sonar. 21 sonar. I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm not remembering any of this. I apologize. I probably should have written down references because I'm so bad at this. But at remembering names and so forth. But Larry Johnson, that's his name. Larry Johnson. I'm pretty sure it's 21 sonar is his website. And this is a former intelligence guy. He appears on Judge Napolitano's show all the time.
Okay.
And he wrote an article where he was saying that he's pretty confident that this truth post was sarcasm from Trump, that he was actually making fun of Kellogg and these other guys that are claiming that Russia is losing this war and giving himself an out.
Yeah.
Like, so, okay, you know, they're telling me that Russia's losing anyway, so we don't really need to stay any more involved than selling weapons to NATO. And, you know, go ahead, Ukraine, do your best.
Right, good luck to both sides.
Yeah. And I like that idea. And I absolutely don't put that kind of thing past Trump.
Nah, Trump do something like that.
Absolutely.
100%. I was just kind of thinking while you were talking, so... at least with the Ukraine deal with NATO, we are selling the weapons and getting money back for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, as far as like using the military to help your GDP, like that actually works. It doesn't really work when you're building and making the weapons and then using them.
No, it still doesn't. It increases your GDP, sure, but it's still a waste of resources. It's still resources that are being moved out of this country. And money means nothing. Money isn't wealth.
Yeah, agreed.
The resources are the real wealth.
Yeah.
So, and it's still companies that, while they're being paid in this case by NATO for their products, they're still being subsidized by the U.S. government, which means the taxpayer is paying part of the production costs.
Yeah, I guess that's where I was kind of losing it. But yeah, you're right. We are subsidizing it. So because I was trying to figure out, well, I mean, at least if we're selling them, we're getting some of the money back, and it's not just like taxpayer money being blown up.
Yeah. We're getting some of the money back.
Yeah, but you're still not made whole though.
Yeah. And the worst thing is the diversion of resources towards that kind of production instead of things that are actually valuable to people here.
Yeah, that actually help people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is the broken window fallacy. Like you don't see where the money would have gone otherwise, where the resources would have gone otherwise.
Absolutely. Okay.
Well, I'm done with my mezcal, so it's time to wrap up.
That probably means we should be about done, man.
Yeah. So sorry about missing a week, everybody. I just couldn't make it work.
Yeah. I feel like there's so many topics we missed tonight too, so we'll have to make sure we.
Yeah. I've got to catch up still. Like my flight there landed 2.5 hours after I was supposed to.
Yeah.
My flight back landed 6.5 hours after I was supposed to. And it wasn't the same flight that I was supposed to catch.
Turns out these planes just don't really follow a strict schedule.
Yeah. It's not like catching the train in the Netherlands or anything. It's
not
very different.
Not following a good time schedule.
Man, the excuses too. Oh, the excuses.
Yeah.
So one of my flights out of Idaho, it was 6:40 a.m.
Yeah.
It's the first flight out of this little bitty airport.
Yeah.
That's not even as big as Pensacola Airport.
Oh, wow.
Doesn't have as many terminals as Pensacola.
Yeah.
Or gates, I mean.
Yeah.
And it got delayed 2.5 hours. I had a 2-hour and 45-minute layover in DFW.
Yeah.
And I was frustrated about that because I like to keep my layovers like just about an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like that gives you enough time to get where you're going, pee, maybe grab something to eat on the way.
Yeah.
In almost any airport in the country.
Yeah.
Actually, really in any airport in the country.
Yeah.
And so I was like, 2 hours and 45 minutes. That sucks. Well, on the other hand, my flight was delayed on the way out here. Like, I guess at least it gives me a little buffer.
Yeah.
So, but then my first flight, that was the first plane out of the airport at 6:40 a.m., didn't leave on time.
Yeah.
And then it got delayed 2 hours and 35 minutes, which means that I landed in DFW while they were closing the gates to my next flight. And in fact, the flight that I was supposed to be on from DFW to Pensacola was the only flight on my schedule for this entire trip that left on time.
Of course it was. It'd have to be, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So.
Gotta love it.
Oh, well. I spent 17 hours in airports and on planes on Monday, which I was like, man, I flew from Pensacola to Zurich in less time.
It's crazy, man.
I know. Oh, well.
Oh, we need to get the government involved to straighten this out.
Oh, yeah, because it's certainly not the FAA or the TSA's issue. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure it has nothing to do with them.
Couldn't be.
Makes me want to dig into that a little bit just because I was so annoyed. I almost started to. If I hadn't been so tired, I would have probably been doing research about that while I was sitting in the airport.
While you were waiting.
Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah. All right. So maybe that's a topic for the future, but not right now.
Yeah.
I still haven't caught up. I'm so tired. But we recorded tonight. So
yeah. And like I say, we'll hit more topics next week and try to get back up to speed.
Yeah, and I was planning to go out of the country next month, but I'm not.
Okay.
We canceled that. We're trying to reschedule for like February or March.
Okay.
So got some time where I don't have any particular plans, except I'm going to New Orleans to see my sister-in-law on Sunday.
That'll be fun.
Taking my mom.
Yeah. New Orleans, fun town.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're not really going to hang out in New Orleans, but we're going to eat there. Good food.
I mean, that's what that town's best for. I mean,
exactly. Good food. So
you can take a train to New Orleans now. We should talk about that later.
Ooh,
but yes, you can. Like you can make New Orleans a day trip now.
Oh, that sounds great. That sounds great.
Doesn't it?
I mean, it is a day trip already, but
yeah, but it's a much better day trip in a train.
Yeah, where I can drink there.
I can drink in the train. I mean, I assume I can. I don't know, but
I have drunk on trains before.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like.
Okay.
Anyway,
we should definitely talk about that. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so I think there's nothing in the way of next week. I don't even have to hopefully we can get something. So.
We'll stick with the hopefully.
Yeah, we probably should. We've got a bad track record this year so far. Oh, well. All right, so we'll be back next week. In the meantime, you can follow us on Facebook. We'll be back next week, probably.
Yeah, there you go.
In the meantime, you can follow us on Facebook. You can subscribe on iTunes, YouTube, Podbean, like and share, comment. You can always email me at michael@thelibertymike.com, especially if you've got any insight into this Venezuela, Guyana, Chevron, Exxon thing, because I'm so curious.
Any information on the oil wars?
Yeah, exactly. I would like to know. Let's see. Is that all the things? I think that was all the things. Anyway, we'll be back next week when we finally get this right. And in the meantime, try to stay free.
Life short, live free.
Ciao.
Later.